China's dating market has become a strange paradox. On paper, the numbers show there are 30 million more men than women in the country. Yet at matchmaking events, it often looks the opposite. Hundreds of women attend, while eligible men are nowhere to be seen. Why does this contradiction exist? Part of the answer lies in social and cultural pressure. Women, more responsive to family expectations, often feel the weight of questions during holiday dinners and turn to matchmaking for solutions. Many men, however, avoid the stress entirely, choosing instead to lie flat. But culture alone doesn't explain it. Consumerism has transformed love into a business. From countless love festivals invented by companies to costly rituals of flowers and gifts, dating has become a financial trap. In fact, data shows that the average gift women receive on Valentine's Day costs 72 times more than those given to men. For men, the burden is even heavier, buying a home, a car, and paying rising dowries. No surprise that 61% of men born in the 1990s carry marriage-related debt. Social media has added fuel to the fire. Platforms promote the fantasy of a flawless perfect boyfriend, tall, rich, and handsome. As expectations rise, genuine human connection falls away. Still, there are glimmers of hope. Some Beijing matchmaking agencies now use blind box dating, hiding financial details and raising success rates. Scholars argue that when women stop treating marriage as a ladder and men stop being treated as ATMs, true partnerships can grow. But what about the individuals living this reality? In the next part, we'll hear from those labeled leftover men and women, their voices, their struggles, and their unexpected resilience.
In today's China, more and more men and women are finding themselves single well into their 30s and beyond. What's behind this phenomenon of so-called leftover men and women? On the surface, the reasons seem simple: rising costs of dating, materialism, and pressure from society. But dig a little deeper, and the story becomes far more complex, and even surprising. The truth is, love has become increasingly commercialized. Businesses have cleverly turned every season into a Valentine's Day, making people believe that spending money equals true affection. As a result, dating has shifted from being a sweet experience into a financial burden. Young men feel unworthy of dating without enough money, while many women demand not only love but also financial proof of commitment. This imbalance has left countless young people frustrated, disappointed, and reluctant to even try. At the same time, social media has poured fuel on the fire. Influencers, eager for clicks and attention, deliberately stir up gender conflicts, pushing men and women further apart. The result? A climate of mistrust where men see women as materialistic, and women see men as unreliable. With this tension, genuine communication, and real relationships become almost impossible. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. Beyond money, beyond society, many singles are struggling because of their own expectations. They want partners far above their level, while refusing to see their own limitations. Meanwhile, online toxic advice tells men that age doesn't matter as long as they are rich, and tells women that marriage is the grave of love. These distorted ideas push people further away from reality and further away from happiness. Now, here's the question that might surprise you. Is it really society's fault that so many remain single, or is it that many people are quietly sabotaging their own chances at love without even realizing it? Stay tuned, because in the next part we'll break down the hidden psychological traps that keep older men and women single, and reveal the surprising steps that can actually help them escape loneliness and finally find a partner.
This reflection adds a deeply personal layer to the issue of older singles in modern China. Beyond money, beyond materialism, there is a quieter struggle, an emotional loneliness that doesn't always feel like loneliness. Here we see the voice of a 1991-born woman, labeled too old by her family, constantly judged as picky, unrealistic, and even warned about fertility. Society places enormous pressure on women, equating age with value, and dismissing their feelings as abnormal. Yet her words reveal something striking: she doesn't feel lonely. Instead, she feels detached, less reactive. She allows herself to be herself, and others to be who they are. But underneath this calmness lies uncertainty. Is she truly at peace, or is it a form of silent depression? She wonders if she is normal, reflecting the broader issue of how society often stigmatizes single men and women as defective, broken, or not normal. This raises powerful questions for all of us. Is being single at an older age really a failure, or is it simply a different way of living? Are people like her quietly building resilience, Or are they slowly numbing themselves to the hope of love? And most importantly, how much of this abnormality is real, and how much is just a label society imposes? In the next part of this video, we'll dive deeper into the psychological impact of stigma on singles, and uncover whether the growing number of people who don't feel lonely are truly free, or silently trapped in a new form of isolation.
This heartfelt story takes us even deeper into the mindset of China's so-called leftover women. At 34, this woman is constantly labeled old girl, too picky, over the hill. Society keeps pressuring her to lower her standards, to marry anyone rather than remain single. But her words challenge that narrative. Marrying without love isn't a solution, it's just another kind of suffering. She highlights a painful truth: loneliness isn't the biggest fear, but entering the wrong marriage can be worse than staying single. In a world where family, friends, and strangers urge her to just settle, she insists on waiting for someone truly compatible. That's not stubbornness, that's responsibility. What's even more moving is her honesty about time. She knows biology is not on her side, that her window for having children is closing. Yet instead of giving up, she clings to hope, not of perfection, but of finding someone suitable, someone she can share real life with. This is not about luxury or fantasy, it's about longing for warmth, companionship, and the small joys of family life. And here lies the fascinating paradox. While outsiders accuse women like her of being too demanding, in reality many of them are simply waiting for one real connection, even if that means letting go of every checklist when the right person finally arrives. But here's the question: is waiting for the right one a brave act of faith, or a dangerous gamble with time? In the next part, we'll explore whether holding out for true compatibility actually increases happiness, or if it risks leaving many forever alone.
This raw confession shows another side of single life, the emptiness behind material comfort. Here we see a woman with a large home, financial stability, freedom to spend on beauty and clothes. From the outside, her life might look enviable. But listen closely, and you hear the silence echoing in every corner of her house. The empty kitchen, the unused rooms, the messy bedroom, the endless cycle of eating out and buying new clothes, it all points to a deeper hunger that money can't satisfy. She is not lacking in things, but in companionship, warmth, and shared responsibility. Even her fear of sleeping alone at night shows how fragile independence can feel when it is forced, not chosen. Her reflection on children is especially striking. She warns younger women to think ahead, because once past 30, she feels the window of motherhood is closing. For her, the issue isn't just about love or marriage, it's about the longing for family life, for children, for a home filled with noise and warmth instead of silence. And this brings us to a powerful question. Is the so-called freedom of modern single life truly liberating, or is it quietly draining people of joy, leaving them with money to spend but nothing meaningful to share? White right pointing backhand index. In the next part, we'll explore how many successful, financially independent singles secretly face this same emptiness, and why society rarely talks about it.
This closing story is perhaps the most heartbreaking of all. Here is a woman in her mid-30s, living alone in a small rented room in Beijing, with no assets and no introductions left. For her, the label of leftover woman feels like a wall closing in. Society tells her she's too late, too undesirable, too forgotten. But notice what she admits. In her youth, she thought she had endless time. She turned down chances, believing love would naturally come when the time was right. Now, regret lingers. She feels she missed her window, and opportunities will never return. This is a cruel irony faced by many older singles. When they are young, they feel confident and selective. When they are older, they feel desperate and overlooked. It is not just about romance. It's about how society measures worth by age, leaving countless women and men wondering if they are still enough. And here's the most thought-provoking question for us all. Is she really too late? Or is this just another social illusion designed to make people panic about time and marriage? If you want to know how stories like hers unfold, and whether people in her situation can still find love and build families, stay tuned, because we'll explore that in upcoming videos. If this story touched you, don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to our channel for more real stories and insights on love, marriage, and modern life.